Hi guys, I wanted to bring you my birth story. Everyone loves a good birth story. I watched a ton of them before I had her, so I thought it would be fun to post one. So we get to the hospital May 9th in the morning because I'd been having contractions all night and they were decently close together and pretty tolerable pain level. We get there. They say that I'm not dilated enough to get admitted, and they send me home. So this is pretty early in the morning. We probably got back home around between 8 and 10 a.m. And all day, the contractions are getting worse and worse, closer together, much more painful. And we kind of stick it out for a while because they had just sent us home and it was about a 25-minute drive to the hospital, so I didn't want to just go back again for them to tell me to come back home. But they were getting really, I couldn't tolerate them anymore. By the time I get to the hospital, all of the pain is in my lower back, so I'm having back contractions, which really, really sucked. Anyways, they checked me. I'm still 1.5 centimeters, and I am in serious pain, like writhing. They start saying how they are just going to send me home, and I started crying. I was like, please don't send me home like this. I told my husband, I was like, they can't send me home like this. Please don't let them send me home like this. I was in so much pain. So they start talking to me about painkiller options, which I was really hesitant about because she's still in me and I didn't want anything to affect her. I didn't know the safety of it or, just the ins and outs of that and how it could affect the baby. But after a good little while, I was looking up stuff. I'm sure my husband was looking up stuff, talking to the doctors, the nurses popping in and out. After a little deliberation and a few more contractions that made me want to explode, they ended up giving me Nubain. And I felt like I was high, but it didn't really help with the pain. That was meh. But I guess it relaxed me enough to where I was able to dilate more with the contractions, because with all the contractions I had been having and how painful they had got, the doctor was telling me that I probably wasn't relaxed enough through the contractions to let myself dilate. So they put me on Nubain, and I think maybe 30 minutes after, maybe an hour, they check me again and I'm 3 centimeters and they can admit me. And so they take me back, and it's later in the evening now on the 9th, probably closer to midnight. I don't even know. So they hook me up to the epidural, which I was absolutely no doubt in my head about at this point, like, give it to me. And that's it. We waited for the night to see, we just waited and see. People were coming in and out all through the night, checking vitals. And I guess at some point the next morning, my water did break. I just didn't feel anything. And one of the nurses came in and she was like, let me just check where you're at, on top of the routine checking vitals and stuff. And she pulls back and she's about to take a look, and she's like, oh, I think your water broke. And she checks me and she's like, yep, your water broke. You're 7 centimeters. And then I think about an hour after that, an hour or two, it was showtime. So the midwife comes in. My OB was, I think, in the middle of a cesarean with somebody else. And the midwife comes in and she's like, hey, I'm going to be helping with your delivery. I hope that's okay, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, whatever. Everyone's qualified, right? So I really didn't mind at all. And I guess they pull back the sheet, and I guess she normally would heat up some towels for like warm compress to kind of help with the women through labor. And she's looking at everybody, and everybody's getting ready, and I'm just laying there like, okay, like waiting for them to tell me when to go. And they tell me to do a practice push, because a lot of people, especially, having had a kid before, they push wrong. You push with your face or you push with your chest. And so they want to make sure you've got your push right. So they asked me for a practice push, and I practice pushed, and they saw the head. And she was like, oh crap, like, great push. It's time to go. And I think they told me 15 minutes later, she was here. I think I pushed, 7, 10 times. I was just so blessed with really an easy, no complications delivery. The laboring was rough. Those back contractions are no joke. But yeah, I was so blessed with an easy delivery, that everything went well. All my nurses were awesome. She came out great. Tyler cut the umbilical cord, and it was just surreal. It is just the craziest moment. And yeah, there's really no describing the feeling. And I used to hate that when I would ask people, what's it like? But there's really, what can you say? It's just the most amazing thing. So yeah, that's my story. Nothing crazy. It was, thank God, thank the Lord, it was everything that it needed to be. And so thankful to everyone who covered me with prayers for that day and that moment. It was really just so amazing. She came out easy, so the midwife said that number 2 would just fall out. And I was like, hold on, let's... And I still don't know about a number 2 after those pains, honestly. But, nobody's really, at least I don't think anybody right after having a kid is like, yeah, let's do it again. I don't know. I'm sure they exist. I'm not there. I know I want her to have a sibling, so sure. But the topic right now is not even, I try not to discuss it. I'm just enjoying where we are right now with her, and it is just the coolest thing. Oh, I know people will wonder, I did tear a little bit. She said that it barely got the muscle, but it did a little bit. And that's only because Amelia came out 6.6 pounds. Little bundle, really small. They said the only reason I did tear at all is because she came out with her hands on her face, which is so funny because in all her ultrasound videos and pictures, she's just like this, bundled up. And sure enough, that's like her go-to position. I guess that's where she's comfortable and finds her comfort. But yeah, that's the only reason I even tore. So just waiting for that follow-up appointment, which is 6 weeks after. I think I still have 4 weeks before they clear me for, regularly scheduled activities. I'm actually very excited to get back to the gym. So hopefully they clear me and everything looks good. And that recovery process with all the diapers and the wipes and the peri bottle, it's just a lot. And there's a lot of blood, and you smell blood just for like weeks after, because there's just so much, and it's just part of the process. I think that was what I was most anxious about, was not knowing what that was going to look like is post recovery. But again, super blessed. The nursing team helped so much in making me feel like, it's not a big deal. It's what everybody goes through. This is what you do. These are the steps you take. Here's everything you need. So yes, luckily, whatever soon to be mama's watching this, you have that team as well at whatever hospital you're going to. So yeah, that's my story. I don't think I've left anything out. Any questions, just comment below. I'm an open book. But thank the Lord, we're here. She's 3 weeks old now, and we're just adjusting. Thanks, guys.